First of all, what age do you think is appropriate for a child to start working?
Child to start working?
Yeah.
Well, that would be according to what type of work now?
Just
anything?
Any kind of job. I mean, you can go from like a standard job, like standard jobs like stocking shelves or things like that. Like those typical 16-year-old jobs.
Probably 16.
Laws aside, still 16?
16 is
Okay.
16.
I would say 13, 14.
13, 14? Despite like, yeah, just laws out of the way, 13,
Yeah,
14?
13, 14, just to
Okay.
be taught responsibility.
Ever had a job?
Yeah, they were like doing
Alright.
a lot of
What age
organized
were you when you
cheers
had
and like
jobs?
we're over there like
Which one?
When you started? Just when you first started working?
16,
So much fun.
10,
Seriously?
16, 17.
Do you think that's an appropriate age, or would you have started working earlier?
I think that's a fine age. It depends on the person.
Have you ever had a job?
Yes.
How old were you when you had your first job?
15.
15. Do you think that was an appropriate age, or would you have started working earlier just to make some extra cash?
I think that's a good age, but the thing is, they had so many restrictions that there was absolutely no point in me working. I couldn't work a register, I couldn't accept money, I couldn't do anything.
What do you count as jobs?
15. Whatever.
What about like
whatever.
reffing?
Did
Had
you get
my
paid
first
for it?
official job, yeah.
Then yeah, that'll be
Like
fine.
14. 15.
Alright, so all you were under technically 16.
Technically.
Yeah. If you could have, would you have started working earlier just for some extra cash? Labor laws aside, if you wanted to.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Alright.
I was 15 and a half.
Okay.
It was the summer before my 16th birthday. I worked at Salsaritas.
Alright. Now, child labor laws aside, like this was some kind of utopia, alright? What age would you have started working at just to get some extra cash?
Probably about 14 when I was a
14?
freshman. Would have done almost anything.
Okay. And now, if your family was in dire need, say like you're gonna lose the house, you need to put food on the table, etc., etc. These are dark times. What is the earliest age you would be willing to get some kind of job to support your family, whatever it may be?
Support the family. I'd probably go back maybe about maybe 6th grade. So what do you like? 12, 13?
Yeah, like
No,
11.
early 10, 11, something like that.
What is the earliest age you would be willing to go to work to help out your family? 13.
12. Started at same age.
Same age?
Yeah, because it wasn't too laborious.
Yeah.
Let's say your family needs you to work in order to get by. How old would you be? How willing would you be to work at an earlier age to support your family?
Whenever, I guess. I don't know.
But what age? Like, give us a projected age. What age
Like
would you be
12,
willing
13,
at to start?
14?
No, let's go
working?
with 8. 8. No. Let's. 12 seems like a good one. 12, 13.
12, 13?
Yeah.
I would have started working very early. Like, earlier than is legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Like 12.
if legality was aside, 12.
Yeah.
Earliest age that you would feel comfortable or would be willing to get a job to help support the family.
Oh,
Yeah.
5.5.
The earliest I
Realistically.
could. But it's not.
Well,
It's
you
not
could.
realistic
No, like-
to work as like a 9-year-old.
It's not
Probably
realistic,
like
but
12.
if we're
I feel like I'd
if
be
we're talking
mature.
like 100 years in the past, even like if you like,
Oh.
I mean, where there weren't labor laws or anything like that, just the early, any kind
As
of
early as I could like
any kind
understand
of-
the concept of.
You live in a void where
Yeah,
there's no labor
any
laws.
kind of society boundaries aside, just
Either
put
12,
to the
12
side.
or 13.
Yeah.
Probably like 13.
Agreed.
If it came down to supporting the family, as in like your lifestyle, shelter, food, and you need that extra income, at what age do you think is appropriate for a parent to require a child to get a job? It comes down to family.
I would say same thing, the responsibility, I would say 16.
16? Really? Even later?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't, like, okay, when you're an adult, or a parent, you don't want to put your stresses on your child. Once they get to an age where they're basically eating more, doing more, and they're at a capability to understand. 16, I say they're almost to adult stage. They can understand. Okay, you can save half your paycheck or whatever percentage of your paycheck. You can also put some money into the house.
dire circumstances.
So in other words, no younger than, is that what you want her to say?
Well,
No younger than
wants-
a certain age?
Well, I mean, just what age, I mean, do you think it's appropriate to have a 5-year-old working, things like
I
that?
would say, I was thinking 12 would be my lowest number.
Oh, I'm thinking 18.
No, you have to go down from what you know. be
Not
circumcised.
necessarily.
Oh, not
No,
right.
no,
okay.
16 to work.
We've had people say,
16 to
Yeah.
work, but now
Yeah.
we're putting added responsibility
well, exactly.
on
We've
this
had people
child.
you don't want to.
Now it's added, now it's, he has to.
And at what age do you think is, if labor laws were aside, what age do you think it would be appropriate for a child to start working? Just in your own personal opinion.
16, 18.
Okay. And now, if it came down to supporting the family, as in the working class family who cares for their children, like the happy family, came down to supporting the rent, feeding their children, putting food on the table, at what age do you think it would be appropriate then for a parent to ask a child, or for a child to feel inclined to get a job to bring in some extra income into the family?
In the United States, I would say, say in the state of New York, I believe it's still the case that you can get working papers at the age of 16 for a part-time job. And I began to work at 16, doing summers, working papers, part-time job, that sort of thing. But only part-time under very, very limited and clearly supervised circumstances.
Okay.
That's where I would come down.
All right. Thank you very much.
Is that all right?
That was great.
Okay.